In this video, we're going to show you how to summer prune your fruit trees. We're going to do a pear tree on a central leader, and we're going to do a plum tree behind us that's open vase style. Hey, this is Gary McDougall from Grow the Food You Love. So starting with this pear tree, we got it and we pruned it this year. We just planted this year with 3 scaffolding branches. These are the main branches that we're going to produce fruit off these main branches over the coming years. The next thing I'm going to do is pick the next 3 scaffolding branches. When I bought it, he said they would be these ones, but I don't like these ones. Are a little bit too close. We want space so air and sunlight can get into the branches and produce lots of fruit. So I'm not going to pick these. I've picked these 3 branches as the next 3 scaffolding branches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to prune out these lower ones. And if you can see on here, Petra, there's a collar. I don't want to cut that collar. I want to cut down right to the collar. I want to cut right above the collar, and then that collar will heal that cut. I'm going to take this branch out too, right down to the collar. So now with these 3 scaffolding branches, I want to cut them back. And the benefit of summer pruning is only that it makes the branches a little bit stockier and a little bit stronger. Okay, so now you can see on this branch, it's growing up. I'm going to cut it to an outward facing bud. Let's see, right down to about here. So what's going to happen is the next branch is going to produce this way. So this branch here will produce fruit next year, and this branch, a branch will come from here, that'll produce vegetative growth, and that'll produce fruit in the following years. We go back up to our top 3 branches. I want to cut them out, again, just like that bottom cut. I want to cut it really close to an outward facing bud. So the branch will come this way, and then over here, there's an outward facing bud there. 1, 2, and this one is already cut. Okay, so let's recap now. We've pruned the bottom 3 scaffolding branches. We've pruned them to make them a little bit more stockier, more healthy, and to prune to that outer growing bud. It's growing to the outer bud, so it grows to the outside, allowing light, sunlight, and air into this branch to keep it healthy, not the branch, into the plant, to keep it healthy and to help it produce fruit. Then we cut out the lower branches that aren't going to be scaffolding branches, and we identified our scaffolding branches, and that's these 3 up here. Finally, I'm going to make an uppercut. I'm going to make a cut to the top of the tree to keep it a little bit shorter. Now, why would we cut the top of the tree off? Because this little bud here is going to be the central leader in the future, and it'll produce the next 3 scaffolding branches. We want to cut the top off because I don't want this tree to grow 15, 20 feet high. I don't want to get on a ladder to prune it and maintain it. I want to keep them smaller, like our apple tree here and our pear tree that's as tall as I ever want them to get. They're about 8 to 10 feet high. It's easy to prune and maintain on just a 2-step ladder. And now this is an Italian prune plum tree that we planted 4 months ago exactly in the middle of March. And now with this plum tree, we want to keep it low. Plum are super vigorous trees. They can grow super high, 15 to 25 feet. Again, I don't want it that high. With this one, I started by pruning this off just above my knee, and I did that so that vegetative growth would come really low on the branch. And you can see down here, they're starting just above my knee. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to prune these out. First, I'm just going to look around and look at these branches. Again, I want a lot of air in there. I want a lot of sun to get in there to help it grow and be really vigorous. And I'm just going to identify the branch, and I'm going to go about halfway down and prune it to an outward growing bud. That bud's going to grow that way, so I'm going to prune it really close to that on an angle away from it. So now, next year's growth is going to grow out this way. And I'm going to go to this guy, outward growing bud. Finding the outward grown buds, and I want to prune them all to about the same height. I want to keep it to about the same height because I'm thinking about some of the thicker branches might be a little bit more vigorous. It might create more growth, and I don't want to create an imbalance in this tree. I want to keep it pretty balanced. My goal is that it's going to be about 6 feet to 8 feet high when it's fully mature in about 5 to 7 years from now. So we're pruning it hard, we're pruning it back, and we're trying to create balance with our pruning. Okay, so now you can see with this tree, we've cut about half the vegetative growth down. We're bringing that tree down to make the branches stockier. We've opened it up a little bit. Sunlight, air can get in here. And let's see what else. We've pruned them, all the branches, to outward facing branches. You can see there's a little nub that a branch will grow out that way on this one. On here, a branch will grow out that way. So I've made prunes to all these cuts to outward facing branches. That's pruning for fruit trees. Again, why? Because we want to keep these trees at a level that are low, that are easy to maintain, easy to prune, easy to spray, organic sprays in the wintertime. And fruit trees are super easy. I just want to summarize with, if you can summer prune in the summer after about the middle of July, and then prune again in the winter after January 1st, to prune out any dead or diseased stuff after January 1st, and then you fertilize in the spring. That's all you need to do to maintain your fruit. And then you get the fun part. You get to pick your fruit and eat it and really enjoy it. So I hope this helps. So as I was pruning this, Petra said afterwards, what's the difference between central vase pruning and central leader pruning? On the central leader, like I said, we had those scaffolding branches, 3 scaffolding branches at each level, allowing the light and allowing the air through to prevent disease and produce lots of fruit. With the central vase, we're trying to keep this low, and we're trying to keep it open. Keep it open from the top, so the sun gets in from the top. We space out the branches so air gets in there. This form of pruning is really good for prunes or Italian prune plums, just the way they grow. And yes, and pruning it down to the knee to start with, that we did 4 months ago, it's going to keep the tree lower and easier to maintain. So with the apple and pear trees, we've done the central leader growing, and with the Italian prune plum, we've done the open vase pruning. Any other questions you have about fruit trees, join our Facebook group, Grow the Food You Love.